McDonald's founder Ray Kroc once said, "The two most important requirements for major success are first, being in the right place at the right time, and second, doing something about it." This truly resonates with me. I'm Trisha Farron. You're watching Keeping the Real in Real Estate. And today I'm going to talk about how I answer the question of, is now the right time to sell or is now the right time to buy? This is such an important question. People are always trying to figure out, can I predict the future or give them some kind of clue as to whether or not they're making the right decision? And quite frankly, there's really no good answer. I think that the right time to sell or the right time to buy is based on so many factors. So take, for instance, the newly married couple. Is now the right time for them to buy when they're currently renting? Well, anybody who's been watching my podcast knows I hate renting. I think it's a colossal waste of money, unless, of course, you're the landlord. But there are circumstances where people do need to rent, and I get that. I like it when they are moving to a completely new area and don't have a clue about what they want or where they want to be. So maybe renting is a good idea so that they can get a chance to investigate before committing to anything more long term. I also think when somebody's downsizing and they just don't have quite right the setup for going from one to the next, maybe a short-term rental might make sense to them. But when is the right time to buy? I can't predict the interest rates. I can tell you what I've been told, but these things change like the drop of a hat. And circumstances out of my complete control or the buyers and sellers could impact pretty dramatically what happens to interest rates, what happens to inventory, what happens with savings. I mean, there's just so many components to it. I'm always faced with, do I buy this particular item or is now not the right time? What defines the right time for you? For me, it might be the desire for something that I've wanted for a long time and I finally see it. Is it right to just get it, even maybe if the finances are not right, or maybe if other circumstances are giving me second thoughts? But if I've been looking for it for a long time and I finally see it, maybe now's the right time. And I do this kind of analysis with my clients as well. Why do you want to sell your house? Is it that you're looking to have just a change? Is it that you have a job change? Is it that your family size has changed? Are your finances completely different than what they used to be? What's going to be the benefit if you move? Will you get something intangible that you don't realize now? Are you making a lateral move? Is it forced? Is it something that only one person wants or another? Maybe none of these questions can be answered. Maybe it's just something that you're kind of in the mood for change. And I get that. Sometimes you just want to rearrange a room, and some houses you go into and they've looked the same for the last 40 years. Sometimes people need change for all different reasons. And timing associated with that change is a personal decision. The same goes for buyers. I had so many buyers that were looking for their first home, and for many of them, right as COVID was starting. But then there was the mayhem of people doing ridiculous things, sight unseen, and $1 million over asking and promising the world to the sellers. And then the interest rate went crazy and people took a step back and said, maybe now is not the right time. Well, had any of those purchased at that time, that was actually a much lower rate than what we have right now. But there was no way to know. We went from 3 and 4% rates to 5% rates where people were panicked. Well, now we're looking at high 6s into the low 7s. So if you wanted to buy a house now, you say, I should wait until the rates go down. Well, go down by how much? When? And what are you giving up if you don't make that decision right now? The same goes for selling. Well, is now the right time to sell? Sellers have been reaping the benefits of an elevated market for a few years now. Even those who bought in COVID are seeing tremendous returns that for those of them that need to sell now or have chosen that they don't necessarily like the decision that they've made. So they want, again, a change. I don't want to see anybody keep waiting and waiting and waiting for something that may or may not happen. As a real estate agent, I see so many different situations out in the marketplace, things that have gone incredibly well, and things maybe not so much. And perhaps if they waited, maybe they would benefit more or have gotten something of different value from it. And value is given weight based on each individual's perspective of it. So as we enter into this last part of our holiday season for 2024, and people talk about, it's the time for giving, it's the time for family, it's the time for fill in the blank. I ask you to think, is now the time for you to make a move? Is 2025 that time? As you're thinking of your budgets and you're thinking of your vacations and the plans that you're making, know that there's a resource out there that you can tap into, me, and I'd be happy to sit down and talk with you about what the opportunities are that exist, and you then can decide whether that's the right time for you. But whether it's the right time today or the right time in a few months or a few years, if you don't do anything about it, that right time will just come and go. And then you'll be questioning again, when's the next right time? So as I sign off for the year, I thank you for listening all year long. I hope you've gotten benefit from the things that I've talked about and the experiences that I've shared with you. And I just want you to know, just as you have your doctors in place, your attorneys in place, your mechanics in place, well, you should have your realtor part of your team. Whether or not right now is the right time for you to make a move, you should have somebody that you can confide in and know that you can get some information so at least you can plan and decide when's the right time for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful 2025, and I look forward to helping you make those transitions with your change of address or just keep you informed of what's going on in the marketplace. Take care and see you in 2025.